households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our
Good
state.
day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast. This is the podcast where we dive into the multiverse of TV and movies, and we discuss the good, the bad, and damn right ugly. My name is James. Welcome in to the show. Appreciate you coming in. Today we are episode 25. We are a quarter way to 100 episodes. Thank you very much for joining me these last 24 weeks. And when this is released, it'll be 25 weeks. So thank you very much for tuning in. And we have got a really good one for you today. One of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio films. I think it's like either my second or first favorite Leonardo DiCaprio film of all time. We're talking Romeo and Juliet. This is the modern adaptation one. And just listening to that and then trying to find all like the sound bites and everything just brought back so many memories of this movie. I can't wait to talk about it. I was due to have a guest today for the show. My fault. I was Sassy Bear, friend of the show, Sassy Bear, was supposed to join me on this episode. But because of a busy and tiring week, I forgot to message him and ask him when he wants to do it. I messaged him last night. When I say last night, this is Saturday the 23rd. I'm recording this right now. And I messaged him on Friday night, early doors. So... and I saw her on social media. He's got a wrestling show today. So, Sassy, hope you have a good show. And sorry again. Poor timing this week. I've had such a rubbish week apart from like Thursday. But yeah, so I'm running this one solo again. But don't worry, Sassy Bear will return soon for another episode. I promise you that. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet is one of the ones I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm just going to crack on. Oh god, I can't speak today. Fuck it. This is free. You guys can listen to all my fuck ups all you want. Yeah, we're going to talk about Romeo and Juliet. That's what we're going to talk about today. Where this movie, I did not know this, all right? But this movie was released in North America on the 1st of November 1996, and it was released in Australia 26th of December 1996, Boxing Day. Little did we know. And there's no release date for the UK, so I think it was only released in like certain areas, which is weird. So have a good one, listen in, and let's get to it.
Households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean.
Wow. I just love that opening. That opening is... Oh, it sets the tone for what this movie is, and I can't think of another film. Not like, I'm not talking about like Marvel films or Star Wars films or anything like that. Like films similar to this, where a William Shakespeare play is adapted into what I think, and from people who I've spoken to about doing this particular episode. Everyone's like, nobody can think of a movie close to how good this is. Maybe Macbeth comes close, but the difference with Macbeth and this one, Macbeth, both stick to like the general story of what that play is, but Macbeth was more adapted for like to be true to the actual play, where this was the actual play but adapted for modern times. And you can't I just can't place my finger on how good this film is. If you've never seen this film, I would highly recommend you guys watching this film before listening to this podcast, because my description of this movie won't do it justice. I could try my damnedest, but this film is just second to none. So if you've never heard of Romeo and Juliet, what are you doing? Living under a rock, maybe? This is one of the premier, or one of many plays William Shakespeare wrote and put in front of a live audience in the Old Globe Theatre in London. And through years, centuries, this play, like many other plays, have like aged really, really well. And for someone to say in Hollywood, hey, let's turn this play into like a modern adaptation and we'll add certain things in there. So with this movie, you've got before I talk about the movie, talk about the play. The play is about two teenage lovers who are part of two different families, and the families hate each other. They're constantly at war with each other. You've got the Capulets and you've got the Montagues, okay? And these two, the son and the daughter of each family, fall in love with each other. However, due to family interference, plagiarism, and just hatred amongst each other, they got married in secret. And obviously, as the story goes on, there's no spoiler. Well, it is spoilers here, but if you've read the play, you know what the play goes. Romeo gets confronted. Juliet's cousin Tybalt confronts Mercutio, who is Romeo's best friend. They get into an altercation, and Tybalt kills Mercutio in the skirmish, which causes Romeo to seek revenge, kills Tybalt, and then he's cast out of Verona for forever. Amidst, if he comes back, he will be put to death, which means his secret marriage to Juliet, which means he had to leave Juliet behind with a secret marriage and whatnot. And then Juliet pretends to die thanks to the help with the father, which I can't remember what the father's name is. It'll come to me when I look it up. The Reverend, the father there, and she drinks this. No, it's poison, but it's like not real poison. It kind of like puts her into like sleep for a few days, which she does. Everyone thinks Juliet's dead. Everyone's sad. The Capulet family is very, very sad. And Romeo finds out, and he's off to come back to, get Juliet. But he arrives at the church, he sees Juliet laying there in this like beautiful mural, and obviously he has poison from the father again, and this time this poison is real, and if he drinks it, he will certainly die. And he goes up, fights Juliet, really, really sad says some dialogue, some beautiful dialogue, and you know, he drinks the poison, but as he's doing it, Juliet wakes up. Juliet grabs him. By this time, he's already drunk the poison. He's slowly dying. Juliet's obviously distraught because that's what she didn't want, and then she kills herself. And then the two lovers of fair Verona, as the line says, you know, die together, and all because the families wouldn't let them be together. And it, you know, that's just a short overview, you know. And if everyone must have seen the play right now, but you know, at least once, or heard of it through their like English class or their drama classes. I first saw this movie during a year 9 English class, because my teacher English teacher in year 9 was a drama teacher, and he put it on one day, and I was just enthralled. Okay, because when I saw it, when I was, you know, when you're a teen, you're like, oh, I don't really want to look at Shakespeare. I don't want to do that. But this is one of this movie actually got me interested in William Shakespeare, because as I got older, the things I was watching, I was noticing like Shakespeare references from like Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, a few other things as well. I could only think of those two. Those two are only the ones that pop to my mind right now. And whenever something, like if I watch a Patrick Stewart film or a TV show, you know, Patrick Stewart would sometimes say these lines in like Star Trek and other shows, and I'm like, oh, that's where that's from. Okay, now I get it now. I'm more enthralled in those shows because of that. And I watched this like in year 9, and I was completely enthralled by it. It's smartly, the respect of the play is shown in this movie a lot, and I mean a lot. You have to respect the playwriting from Shakespeare himself, and for them to turn around and go, right, because obviously there have been previous Romeo and Juliet films, you know, brought on the screen during like the 70s and 80s, but then when director Baz Luhrmann, I'm not good at these names, so I'm sorry, Baz Luhrmann, when he directed it, and then the screenplay was by Craig Pearce and Baz as well, they kind of looked at each other and thought, how do we make this into a great show, a great movie for everybody to like be interested in? Let's give it a modern twist. Instead of horses, we've got cars. Instead of swords, we've got guns. You know, instead of like a small town, let's use a city. You know, and the locations as well. You got the beach location. It's mind blowing, and it's really, really smartly written. The cast is brilliant as well. Like if we just go through like some of the act, I'm not going to go through everybody, but there's a few actors and actresses here, and even some of the actors in this I didn't realize was in it until I watched it, until I was researching it. So you got Leonardo DiCaprio who played Romeo, Claire Danes as Juliet. You've also got Zach Orth, Jamie Kennedy. You've got Paul Savino. Sorry, I will get that. Paul Savino, who's in C Spot Run. John, I can never get this guy right. John Leguizamo, who played Luigi in the original Mario film, and Miriam. Oh, I'm so useless with names, so I apologize. Miriam Margolis, who plays who plays Professor Sprout in Harry Potter a few years after this. And you've also got you've also got, I didn't even know this, all right, until I watched it. Paul Rudd, a young Paul Rudd, is in this film playing Dave Paris, the governor's son and Juliet's fiance, which I was like, what? That's crazy. I don't think you would notice when you were young, but now, like, with all, like, friends and, like, obviously the Marvel films and whatnot, Paul Rudd is in this, and you're just like, what? This is great. This is such a good film. And everybody plays their part. Everybody's having fun. Just everybody, the whole movie is just incredible. Father Lawrence, that's what the guy, the reverend's name is. Sorry for me to have a drink. 2 seconds. Oh, lovely. And everyone is, like, playing the parts so well. It's so much fun. The emotion is there. The music, my God. I think this is probably one of the movies that started me off on my movie soundtrack love. Just because like, I'm obsessed with soundtracks, and when there's a good soundtrack, I'll put it on my playlist of Spotify and I will listen to them. But my God, this film had it. You had, like, modern songs, but you also had orchestral songs as well. And the opening of the movie, like I said at the start, sets the tone, because you've got the TV coming out to the screen with the newscaster speaking in. This is the best thing about this movie. Everyone's speaking in Shakespeare. Stays true to the movie. They haven't gone like, no, we're not going to bother with the Shakespeare writing. Let's create our own script. No, they've stuck true to it. Everyone is listening to it, and it's amazing. Speaking it, everyone's doing it really, really well. Everyone's coming up with their dialogue, nailing it onto the point. And with the opening, you've got, again, you got the news anchor on the TV, and then it cuts to this huge orchestral track that you heard in the interlude between the intro and the talking about the film. And you've got Father Lawrence talking about the story as well, and you get, like, little snippets of what's going to happen without spoiling the movie in it. So it's like a proper William Shakespeare theatre released play, which is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And then it goes from that straight into, like, the introduction of the Montagues, and you get that soundtrack. You're like, the boys, and you think, yes, this is gonna be great. You got, like, modern music with the acting, and then it just all kicks off then to the Montagues and the Capulets with, like, the gunfight in the fuel station and everything else like that, and it's great. The dramaticness of it is incredible. The music's on par. It's heavy when it needs to be with the orchestra. It's sweet and subtle and romantic at the romantic sides, especially when that, the famous Romeo, where thou art my Romeo, that bit, that's incredible as well. The wedding scene and everything, and even the I'm so I love this movie. The what's it called now? The scenes in my head. Oh, when Romeo's chasing down Tybalt after killing Mercutio, and they just run, and that the music in that is so dramatic as well. And then, like, the death scene at the end with, like, the music as well. It's so impactful with the Romeo side, and then with the Juliet side, there's no music whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. And it's just dead silent, even towards the end. It shows the respect of the two main characters in this movie. And it's styled to be different, but also keep the respect and love for the Romeo and Juliet play, which I fucking love. When a movie is done right, and when a movie is treated with respect, when it's been adapted from a book or a play or a comic book, then it's high praise for me when it's done well. And this is the type of film which is done well. And you can probably hear the passion in my voice right now of how passionate I am about this, because I fucking love this movie. I know there are some people out there, dude, it's a play. I don't give a fuck. I think who cares if you don't like these sorts of films? All right, you need to check yourself, because these movies, if you criticize people for liking these kinds of movies, then you need to go check yourself and see what you're watching. Do you know what I mean? Have some knowledge. Just go in, dive in. This movie is literally for everybody. Would I say it's a family movie? Probably not. Maybe. Well, no, I wouldn't say it's a family film, because in the UK it was rated 12. It was rated 12, so it was like, everyone over 12 could watch it, but if you're under 12, you need like an adult with you to watch it. I don't know what it's like with everybody else. Probably it was an M for mature in North America, which I wouldn't be surprised at. But the runtime on this as well is incredible. It's 120 minutes. All right, so that's about 2 hours. It's 2 hours, and it's not a long. It doesn't feel like a 2-hour film. It really doesn't. It goes so quickly, and it's so enjoyable to watch from start to finish. It's incredible. And what's incredible about this movie as well, the budget for the film was literally only $14.5 million, which in 1996, when this was released, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot for a movie. And when it hit the box office, it smashed the box office for $147.6 million at the end, which may have made it one of the highest grossing films of 1996, especially that later half of 1996. And my God, what a great film. What an absolute diamond of a film. And I can't complain with it. I could go on and on, but I don't want to go on and on about. I don't want to keep going on and on about it, because I won't stop otherwise. With these solo shows, I like to keep them like under 30 minutes or so, 45 minutes tops. But I fucking love this movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If I was giving this film a ranking, this film's 10 out of 10 for me. I think this is one of the first 10 out of 10 movies that movies or shows that I've covered on this podcast thus far. So having this movie on as 10 out of 10 for me is second to none. I do wish Sassy Bear was here to talk to me with this, because I know we could have gone like over an hour on this, and I know Sassy Bear is just listen to this right now, and he's like, I've got a lot to say about this film. So one day I will revisit this episode one day, and have Sassy Bear on the show with me to get his perspective on it, and we can just talk about it and just enjoy what this movie's all about. That being said, I'm gonna cue some music now, and we're gonna do the outro, and we're gonna get off here. So, cheers.
A dog in the house of Capulet moves me! Yeah, come on, y'all! The boys
week. This was episode 25. We're talking William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget, we've got 24 other episodes in our archives right now. You can check us out on all audio platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Amazon Music, and much more. You can also catch us on the YouTube as well. We are now on the YouTube. Check out my YouTube right now at It's That Nerd James. All the descriptions below. You can also follow the podcast at the Multiverse of Entertainment Pod on Instagram and Mo Podcast on TikTok. You can follow me on Instagram at It's That Nerd James. All my links are below in the description of these podcasts each and every week. You can also catch me on Twitch as well. I'm now back on Twitch. Check us out there. Like I said, all the links are down below. I should say the links at the end, but come and check me out there. I stream as and when I can. No set schedule. Just come in, just see me play video games and whatnot. And I will be doing live podcasts on that channel. Not sure when yet, but I'm waiting for like a really good one to do that with. So stay tuned for that as well. Don't miss anything here. If you follow us all social medias, don't forget to have the notification bell on and like everything, comment everything as well. I want to hear from you guys. So I could read comments out on the podcast, which is pretty awesome. And I think that is it. I think that's everything. Next week is episode 26, and this is the episode that I delayed last week to this upcoming week. So I'm going to be talking about Scrubs season 1. I'm going to go through it as much as I can. I'm probably about halfway through there now. I might not finish the entire season. However, I will do my damnedest to give you a good episode. It'll be a general overview. No ranking episode. It's just a general overview of the show, which, spoiler alert, I love, and it's funny. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Hope you have a good one. Enjoy the rest of the episodes. I'll see you next week for Scrubs, episode 26. And we are going to rock out with our favorite outro music right now.